weekly, sure. Episode 1, Uzumaki. So this is one both of us have been excited about. You more than me because it's pretty established that I'm not a Junji Ito bandwagoner. I'm pretty much no. This guy's not my dude. I mean, he's
Yeah.
going against H.P. Lovecraft, so this was something I was
He's not really going
genuinely excited
against
about.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people like to bandwagon and be like, he's our modern day Lovecraft. And I take
I mean,
offense to that.
I think when people say that, they're mostly just saying he's another guy doing cosmic horror, which he is another guy doing cosmic horror, yeah.
Yeah, I'm only checking my audio levels on my little thing. But yeah, I take slight
Oh,
to
yeah, I
that.
didn't take a look at that. No, that's fine.
Just like how I'm a huge defender of Brandon Sanderson, even though he doesn't need my defending. He is well established.
Huge?
I am nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to be going through Uzumaki weekly. So this is episode 1, again, because you can see the board behind me that I totally did not steal. But actually, I don't know how you want to structure this. Should we just go beat by beat, or do you want to just talk about it as a whole and just let people go watch the episodes for themselves?
I think what you do is, one, we have to tell people what this is even about in the first place. So Uzumaki is an adaptation from a manga by Junji Ito, who, yeah, like you said, is a very, very famous horror author in Japan. This is his biggest thing, and it's basically about a spiral curse that takes over a small fishing village on the coast of Japan and slowly makes people go crazy. But it's more than just a mental thing. It's also a lot of body horror. It's primarily body horror. I'd say most of the characters is body horror. There's like 1 or 2 people where it's just they go crazy, but for the most part, it's it's body horror.
Yeah,
and that's kind of it, right? Like it's just a bunch of people being affected by a spiral.
Yeah, that's the main premise of the show. But Adult Swim, to their credit, actually changed it because most of the time, Juju Ito's work has always been page by page. They just take it 2D, make it 3D, and that's as far as it went. But whoever is directing it, I actually don't remember the studio, but they were like, you know what? Let's grab the story. IG. The story everyone knows, and let's just tweak it a little bit. And honestly, I think it was the best idea for them to do that.
Yeah, it definitely makes it feel a lot less like slow, and it makes a little bit more sense for all of it to start. Because in the actual story, each individual event happens kind of one after another, whereas they set up almost all of them. In fact, that I can think of, there's only 2 things. I won't get into right now because that'll be for a later episode. But there are only 2 things that are in the manga that haven't been set up yet, off the top of my head. But everybody else has been set up. So like it makes it feel more like this is happening, 1, on like a shorter time scale, and then 2, all at once. So it feels like it's a much bigger threat immediately. Because in the manga, you kind of feel like, oh, you just, for the first part, really, you could just get in a car and get out and you're probably fine. But this feels like, no, like it's too late already.
Yeah. And I think kind of for that delivery is this was an issue, right? This was like Shonen Jump or whatever. So week by week, it was, this is what this chapter is about. So yeah, the way it was delivered normally is basically like Scooby-Doo, who's the monster of the week? And this adaptation just smashes them all together. And again, I like it. Mm-hmm. My only real complaint is the weird CGI. And it's noticeable, but it's not distracting. Like the background is 2D.
Not like bad. Yeah. It's not terribly done. But you can still tell like that technology still needs a little bit of time before it actually feels perfect. But we're close enough. It's not Berserk 2016 anymore.
Yeah, God no. But if you've been following the Nakama podcast and you happen to live in the San Jose area, we had a panel in Fanime and I think GalaxyCon where I mentioned it was just GalaxyCon where I mentioned because at Fanime I still have not finished Uzumaki, so during GalaxyCon I actually was able to, and I pitched the idea to both you and Houston that to me my interpretation of it is Suishi, who is what's the main girl's name?
I'm forgetting. But he's the main guy, so you can really just say he's one of the main characters.
Yeah, he's the
Because the main
boyfriend
characters are the
of
two
the
of them.
girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so what I was saying is when I finally read it, I was telling you in Houston that I have this weird um story in my head because one of the things I don't like about Junji is sometimes shit happens, no rhyme or reason, and I don't like that. So I was trying to
Yeah.
rationalize the story to me that the boyfriend Shuichi is the one who is the catalyst of all of the bad things because he points out like, hey, that clock's kind of weird, and now all of a sudden that clock is doing unmentionable things to a dog, and this now just kind of that idea was something you and Houston like, oh shit, yeah, I guess like if you interpret it
Yeah.
that way, it could make sense. And now this adaptation just grabs that idea and just punches me with it because it's like, no, all of this is happening at the same
Throws it
time, which
completely in
again
the garbage.
flows a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the first thing that I noticed when I started watching it. It was like, oh, this invalidates Sal's theory, at least in this version. Obviously, this is not
Yeah,
like the formative version of the story. This is just an adaptation, but for this adaptation, I don't think you can take that interpretation because stuff is
yeah,
happening
not
while he's
anymore.
not even there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I think the only thing he's been involved in is him straight up telling the main girl, let's leave. And then the friend with the actual fucking thing, whatever her name is.
The crescent scar, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only two. Well, and then his family, but it makes sense. He would be involved in
But
his
he
own
cites
parent.
his yeah, and he cites his family as the thing that makes him start feeling like weird about the town. So in this one, it makes it pretty clear that he's observed something that's already started, as opposed to in the manga where yeah, you could totally take your interpretation where it kind of feels like maybe stuff isn't happening until he points it out.
Yep. But overall, this is just episode one, and this is a new format that we're trying
Yeah.
out. I have high hopes. Again, I'm not the biggest Junji Ito bandwagoner, but I was excited for this one. I think it delivered. And this is just episode one. I'd like to know how far they're going to push it and if they're actually going to give it a new twist to it since they already took the liberty of mashing at least 4 or 5 chapters into the first episode. So it's kind of like, how else are you
I
going to
think
go
it's
with the rest
part
of the
of
stuff?
I think they've introduced stuff up to like elements. Obviously, they haven't gone through all of it, but they've gone through I think elements up to chapter 7 or 8. I want to say
Yeah,
7
something
though.
like that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
in this one, they already introduced the girl at the spiral and resolved her
Mm-hmm.
situation. The dad
They
already got
introduced the dad
resolved
and they
too.
got rid of him
Yeah,
quick.
like
That was
right away.
fast.
So the only players
And
still
they
in
set
it.
up the mom.
Yeah, they set up the mom and the snail boy, which I guess I just
Mm-hmm.
spoiled it. But yeah, those two
If
are
you've read
still
it, you know
unresolved.
Snail Boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for Sunday because this is when it comes out. So we'll probably be recording another one on Monday unless one of us gets sick
Yeah.
or one of us forgets
No.
not to watch
Or
it.
I won't be here, so you may have to call me over. I mean, that's the great thing about this system, right? Is as long as I have this with me, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, want to
Actually, I guess as long as
give
I have this and a stable internet connection.
whatever the name. What is this? SoundCloud, Soundcore.
Riverside, Riverside
There we
FM.
go. Riverside got that
It's
the
a
first
pretty
time.
well established system.
Yeah,
It's
Riverside.
yeah, this is not new.
You want to give us some promotional material to spread the word because I speak for the school that I'm a part of. No one knows about this. I could be the guy to promote it.
I think the appropriate people already know about it, but I would not be against a discount code or perhaps if you want to throw like 3 months free at us because it is like $25 a month, which isn't a lot, but I mean
No, heck no. When you
just
told me like,
saying,
oh, I
just
don't know if you're
saying,
gonna want to do it. It costs some money, and then you told me the price. I was like, yo,
yeah,
no, what the fuck? No, that's not.
you're
I was thinking like $200 just to
yeah.
get in. But Riverside,
I mean, if you
affordable.
want to
And
pay for the whole year, I think it's 288.
I don't know, Riverside. Think about it. That's all I'm saying.